So, hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and I'm just here at the Pilikutua forest, I think is this portion of the forest, the Pilikutua forest, and thought to record a short Dhamma discussion for the internet. So I thought they could start with just a little meditation, so can lean forward a bit and arch the spine, and look about 3 feet in front, and close our eyes. And can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, wishing, may all beings to my right be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make the mind infinite, can make it unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings to my right be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side and our left hand side, wishing may all beings to my right and my left be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, and in front. May all beings to my right, my left, and in front be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, in all 4 directions. May all beings in all 4 directions be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, and above. May all beings in all 4 directions and above be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, above, below, all around in every direction, everywhere. May all beings all around in every direction, everywhere be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make the mind infinite, can make it unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. And before we finish meditating, can spend some time contemplating impermanence, how everything that arises is subject to cease. It's not me, it's not mine, and to cling to it is suffering. Okay, you can open our eyes. And do a short Dhamma discussion for the internet.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Ditiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Ditiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Ditiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
So hope that everybody's keeping well wherever it might be. And looks like there's threats of a storm coming behind, but should still be able to finish this video anyway. And so I was chatting with somebody the other day, and we were actually chatting about the kind of academic things. This person is not a Buddhist, but meditates. And so we were talking about some of the Buddhist concepts of heaven and these kind of things. And one of the questions that came up was describing these different heavens and describing how there's some beings that go to these heavens, and the heavens are really wonderful places, but they still become bad. They still become bad people. There's actually bad Devas living in the heavens. There's Devas that can get corrupted and start to do evil things. And so for somebody who's a non-Buddhist, is kind of surprising. They said, well, is that the case? They're basically asking for clarification on it. And so more or less said, yes, this is the case. So in Buddhist cosmology, we have these different heavens that come up from our world, the human world, and then basically kind of graduate from there. And the further and further one goes away from their closeness to the human world, the less and less like the human world they become. So the one that's immediately above our world is called the Heaven of the Four Great Kings. And it sounds a bit more like the human world. There's some places in that world where there's actually Devas, we call them, and they get given a different name. There's like Yakas and Nagas and these kind of supernatural beings living there. Some of them get drunk and they cause all these problems. And they don't have much faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, or the Sangha. There's even stories in the canon. Sometimes he's like a yaka flying by and seeing Venerable Sariputta sitting with his shaven head, and then going to try to punch Venerable Sariputta's head, kind of to kill him basically, and then not succeeding in that, and then falling into hell. And then above that, there's another heaven which is similar to the kind of Greek and Norse heavens and the Roman heavens, where you have these kind of gods, like a Zeus-like god or a Thor-like god. They call him Inda or Indra. He has like a thunderbolt. That's his power. And he has all these companion gods with him. And this place, it becomes less like the human realm than this world of the Four Great Kings, or so it seems. It's extremely beautiful, but they still get into wars. They have these kind of wars with asuras. And then above that you have another one, you have the Tusita heaven, and it goes up and up like this. But in all of these heavens, basically in all the lower ones, there's still the possibility, there's some Devas, it seems anyways. Some of the places in the canon, it doesn't exactly say where they come from, but there's some Devas who become corrupt. They become kind of evil, and they become Devas in the company of Mara. And if people become like this, or if beings become like this, then they start to do evil things. So there's actually a story in the canon of a time when a number of bhikkhus wanted to commit suicide, and they started committing suicide and actually hired this assassin to come in and kill them in exchange for their robes and bowl. And this one Devata, this female Deva in the company of Mara, came walking up on water and saying, "Oh, what you're doing is very good." He started to get this remorse, and she came to him and said, "Oh, what you're doing is very good. You should keep." She said, "You should keep killing these bhikkhus," basically. And so he continued on doing this. And so what this basically means is, from a non-Buddhist perspective, one tends to think of heaven as this place where one goes and it's really lovely, really beautiful, and all the people there
are really nice. Tends to be the thought. But actually, in both Christianity and Buddhism, in heaven, bad things can happen. I mean, in Christianity, you have this war between God and the devil. And in Buddhism, there's wars going on in heaven. Devas can fight, they can die, they can get killed. And some of them are not always good. Some of them get corrupted. Actually, in Buddhism, the devil figure in Buddhism is called Mara. And Mara is said to exist in the highest heaven in the sensual world. But he can also go to the Brahma worlds and he can kind of corrupt Brahmas. There's suttas where he shows up in Brahma's heaven and he tries to kind of cause trouble there. So in all these cases, just going to heaven isn't a guarantee of a kind of everlasting sensual pleasure. This is the case both because it's impermanent, but also because the devas, or the beings there, they can become corrupted. They're not always nice beings. They can fight with each other, they can kill each other, they can fall from that. So this is kind of food for thought for one who is seeking safety in heaven. If one gives a lot of gifts, one keeps morality, one does all the things that a good Buddhist does, one can go to heaven. But in heaven, although one has a very long lifespan, the devas there have all these kind of superpowers. When they want to travel, they just kind of show up at a place. And they basically have all the psychic powers that a really skilled yogi would have. They can, walk on water, make themselves disappear, and they don't have physical bodies. They don't rely on physical food. All these various things. But even if one goes there, one still doesn't escape necessarily from all the things that one wanted to get away from in the human world. One doesn't necessarily escape from jealousy or competition or killing or violence. These things are still present in the Deva world. So the thing in Buddhism is that it's always best not to look to an external source for happiness, but it's best to look for the elimination of the causes of suffering in one's own mind. So it's best to look for the elimination of greed, the elimination of hatred, the elimination of delusion, rather than going to heaven as a sure way of gaining a permanent and stable type of happiness. Because it's the elimination of these things in one's own mind that one finds a true peace, not in going to a place where most beings are good, but some are bad, and some fight, and some kill. Okay, so leave that for reflection, and think that rain is coming, so I better get going.